Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's March 31st, 2022, and today this video is going to be showing some of the pruning process that we go through before harvesting our 1-year-old plants that we're selling for bare root. And so you're going to see some footage of Thea and I pruning the Jostaberries, then pruning red currants, and digging up the red currants as well. And then you'll hear me go through the process of the healing in process, which I talked about in a previous video not too long ago. I'll mention at this point that 1 year ago in March of 2021, I posted a video about the pluses and minuses of buying bare root plants and or potted plants. And I won't go through all the details of that, but I'll try to make sure I put a link to that in the description below. And if it isn't in the description, hit me up with a note or a comment below to make sure it reminds me to make sure I do link that. I get pretty busy here. Excuse me. I really would love to just sell bare root plants, but we're not in a situation where we can do shipping yet. Maybe that's something we'll be able to do in the future, and we still don't have a good system for marketing them with Craigslist or Facebook yet. I'm just not a salesperson type person. But I have had to buy some pots. All the pots I've gotten before, I've gotten them used secondhand. And I always ask people if they're coming back and buying plants from us in the future and they've got pots, please bring back the pots, because we always want to keep those things out of a landfill. And also it adds a lot of cost to selling a potted plant. For example, I just had to buy this. Here is a 1-gallon pot, and this is a 2-gallon pot. These are outrageously expensive nowadays, and shipping gets to be a big issue. So you really want to buy things in big bulk. So these are just under $1 a pot, and these are about $2 a pot right now. This is nowhere near 1 gallon, and this is nowhere near 2 gallon. Maybe this is close to a gallon, but it can be quite confusing if you're trying to determine the size of the plant and all. And so I'll just refer back to the video that I posted last year about the differences in the bare root versus the potted plants. Hopefully you'll be able to see when we dig up some of these plants, or when I'm healing them in, the growth and development of the root system, which is the foundation for the development of the strength and durability and viability of the berry bush itself. So it's more capable. The better the root system is, the more, not just the better the chance for the plant surviving, the more disease resistance it will have, the more berry production it will have, and the more tolerance it'll have to mistakes that we make as gardeners in putting these into our places. So I'm going down now with the big loppers and pruning off lots of the main stems coming up, because we don't want any lateral stems, and I won't go over too much of it. And by the posts right here on the right hand side of the screen, you'll see there's a red bud. I'll mention that red bud in the video ahead as well. So going through and pruning all of the plants ahead of time, and then getting labels on them, so we don't show these ones being dug up or the labels being here. You can see the end of the row labels. But these Jostaberries, which are a cross between a black currant and a red currant, grow so rapidly that they can overshadow those plants around them. So they can grow almost as rapidly as some of our big rooted elderberry plants. But the more substantial the root system is on these plants, the better off we'll be. And that was Timmy climbing around the high tunnel there. So now we're going down and pruning the red currant. So we're over in the western garden plot. Behind my butt there are all the blueberry plants that will be hopefully getting transplanted sometime soon. I also have a freezer delivered, so that you'll see that going on in the background in a couple of minutes. But now I'm starting to uproot some of the red currants. This is back-breaking work, because we're actually tearing loose the roots from each other, from the extensions of the roots. Again, it's so important that what's below the surface of the ground, sort of like the foundation of the house, or the foundation of your health. The better the root system, the better the durability, the resilience, and the productivity of the plant that you're going to get. So we go down each side of these plants as we're digging them up, and then I give them their first shakes to get the soil off. One of the benefits of having the weed mats here, that helps to dry off the soil some. So I can shake off a lot of the soil. Then Thea will give them a second shake and then wash them off, make sure they're nice and moist, put them in the wheelbarrow or put them in the front end loader of the tractor so that we can start getting these things healed in as well. It's so important. The process of healing them in really is dependent upon moisture and keeping them dormant, and also making sure there's no air voids around the root systems themselves. So we got all these dug up, but hopefully you can appreciate the size of these roots that are developed on these plants and the challenges you'd have getting them in anything less than a 4-gallon pot. So this is March 24th, 2022, and I'm out here in the nursery area, which hasn't been set up yet. And there's Timmy coming over to say hello. We're healing in plants today. The other day we healed in these black currants that are set in, and healing in, Heeling, is just uprooting the plants where they've developed great roots, but before they budded out, and we cover up their roots with moisture and soil. So here in this bucket here we have these are our red currants. So we got a whole bunch of red currants that we've got to get healed in, and we're going to have to make sure that they're completely watered thoroughly. And I do prune these back so that they can get in pretty close together, but we developed some really good healthy plants. So I've got to get this wheelbarrow of red currants in, and this is a little bit less than half, I think, or about half of the Jostaberries. And the Jostaberries are a cross between black currants, which are those ones over there, and our huge ones, black currants over there. But these Jostaberries are a cross between our gooseberries, which are still up there. I haven't gotten to those yet. And these are absolutely delicious, but the deer love them as well. They grow rapidly. They do extremely well in our environment here in central New York. And they tolerate a wide variety of conditions in the ground. So we'll be growing more of these as well. But we really strive to get excellent root development in our plants. All of these things look really good as far as their root development. So I'll move these Jostaberries back some now. And I dug up one of our red buds over here. I got to get this in the soil as well and get it watered. Red buds are a beautiful nitrogen fixer. So I've got to get that one in. There's little nodules all along the root systems of it. We do have lots of elderberry plants right in here. I probably have a couple hundred in here that I've got to redig up. It took me a while this last fall to get these healed in, but I put them in deeper when I'm healing them in to go over winter as opposed to in the springtime here. So let's see if we can get these guys into the ground. So now you're just going to see me going ahead and grouping some of these red currants together. Those are the ones I'm doing right now. And the goal here is to make sure that no root is exposed to air or to the elements, the sun. So we want to make sure that soil and water penetrate in between all of the roots themselves so that they're all in contact with soil and the soil remains moist. So that's really important. The upper part of the plant can stay out, exposed to the sun. We aren't set up for a true dormancy chamber where you can keep them devoid of sunlight. So in other words, keep putting them in like a basement You could heal them in a basement or a root cellar, that sort of thing. We just aren't set up for that. Now it's just dawned on me in the video here, oh, I need to take a couple of pictures of these so I can post pictures on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. I think this year we'll probably try to develop a website. The website that I've had for years is really a terrible website. It really doesn't advertise what we're doing here. I just haven't kept it. I haven't done any real serious work with the website. The other thing is we really need to potentially consider trying to develop a shipping program as well. But it does take a lot of time and energy just doing what we're doing now, and we have to decide if this is something, the shipping is something that we want to continue doing, and deciding do we want to keep selling the potted plants during the summertime as well. We tend to get more people that are interested in potted plants coming in the summertime. People aren't necessarily, our clientele aren't the type of people who are used to doing this sort of thing and pre-planning and saying, oh geez, I want to start a small food forest, or I want to really develop this part of my property for growing and developing and all. So it's one of those things where there are more people that are interested during the summertime when things are really leafed out. That's when they want to grow the plants. So what I would say is go back and watch the video that I created just over a year ago, and I think that may help you with decisions about bare root plants versus potted plants. And I think that's about it for today. So if you found this video of value, please give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Feel free to leave comments, ask questions and all. We certainly enjoy your feedback as well. Thanks so much and have a great day. Bye-bye now.